Hi students, I hope you're doing well. In this video, I want to show you something kind of straightforward, kind of simple, but it has a few steps to it. I want to show you how to take a MIDI file from your notation software and move it into a digital audio workstation, specifically Amped Studio, and touch it up and do production moves on it. Okay, so I'm over here in freemidi.org. I have downloaded We Will Rock You by Queen. All right, so I just ran over to the MIDI file here. I've got it here on my desktop. This is my session over here. I guess I didn't hide that. I have a finished product, but anyway. So here's MuseScore. We'll just import the original MIDI file into MuseScore. Here's I don't want to give away my trick here. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming on. Well, there's a way to start out a video, right? Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Okay. Bring this level down to about here. Have the navigator open. And this is going to help me get around here. Okay, what we have, let me just close the navigator. Let me make sure the mixer's giving me the right levels here. Okay, we should be good. Iconic piece of music by Queen. We Will Rock You. It has that very distinct general MIDI sound that is it's pretty bad unless you want to make something that's a little spoofy or something like that, very self-aware. Otherwise, something that demonstrates. It's very good at demonstrating a composition you're doing, but for actual production, for producing on an album or something, it doesn't really work. So, but I'm not just going to make this sound good. What I want you guys to do in this class, you're not just taking something and touching it up. I want you to be able to take material here and just rework it for something for yourself. So this is a sneaky MIDI production move that I want to show you guys. So first thing I'm going to do here, this is an old trick here. I'm just going to highlight everything. Well, first I want to show you something I want to zero in on. I'm going to go over to the navigator here, and I already have a section selected. So I want that classic, I want to get my free drum pattern. Okay. That iconic just stadium drum beat in We Will Rock You that we heard. It's not quite as boomy in the original recording, of course. So let's get this to start. I'm not great in MuseScore 4 yet, so let's get this to start here at the guitar solo at the end of the music. one of my does it justice. So I'm just going to not even think of it as that original guitar solo. And I'm going to turn it into something else. So the way we start doing that is I'm going to select everything here. I'm going to go to Tools, I'm going to Transpose, and the easiest thing to do is just go diatonically down a third. Okay, so I'm transposing the entire thing down the third, which is just going to put it into the relative minor. Okay, now let's see what we have. Navigate back over to page 34 here. Accents there, so let's see. Hopefully it transposed it. Let's see. Well, either way, you guys get the idea, because I already have the transposed version for myself. All right, and what we do here is we export. Okay, we export as a MIDI file. Here we go. And you can export just individual parts, which I think is very smart. And I highly recommend just exporting the parts that you want. For example, I only want the drums and those electric guitar parts. However, it turns out that there's something kind of strange happens when you're exporting drum parts. And MuseScore 4 actually lets me import MIDI drum parts into Amp Studio, which is great, but you have to export it as a whole main score. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, you can export individual parts as well, which is very cool. I have my own score set up, so but you can export these and get as many individual parts as you want and pull them into as individual MIDI tracks, which I think is very cool. Okay, so let's move over to Amp Studio now. I'm just going to start a new Amp Studio session. Okay, the thing with Amp Studio here is when you drag it in, you actually make sure that you pull it in close to the beginning, because it will start. Make sure we have everything. Okay. Pull it up nice and close. There we go. We don't need this track. And our first step here is find our drums. Okay. And we don't want Volt Mini, we want drums. Where did I just go? And that's a fine drum set right there. Find our other drum set. Here we go. And for this, I'm going to use the Tech House kit. Sounds. Oh, a little slow, right? Let's see. I'm going to take this down to, I think I was working at 67. Okay. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Sounds a lot better than those MIDI sounds. Now, let's see, where are we at? If I go here, I know that I want. Yeah, here's the parts that I want to keep. I want to keep these drums. I don't need the. Oops. I don't need this track right here. I don't need this singing part. It's kind of funny. Oh, I forgot to show you guys in the MuseScore version. It's very weird. Let me show this to you. It's so funny and so weird. Let me see. I have to show you guys where the weird minor singing comes in on the it's a choir. They have a choir patch. Oh my gosh. I'll just here it comes. Where's the choir? Nothing's playing. Well, you guys should dig it out, and it's enough of this foolishness. Where was I? And there's my messy desktop. This is amazing. What am I doing here? Okay, here we are. Sorry, it's a little loud. Start that over. Okay. Now that's fine, I guess. And I do know that I'm going to want a tag here at the end, all right, for phrasing. So I'm going to grab that. So I'm going to double check that there at the end. Okay. Let's see. What I want to do is let's have a listen. I want to, you know what I want to do? I want to get more out of this. I'm going to slow it way down. And let's clone this track here. And I'm going to open up the, I'm going to grab that next. Okay. And because it's kind of sparse, I can do something very cool with this. And I can add a delay, make a more complex rhythm. So let's see, a good delay for this. Well, let's try some different delays out. Okay, let's have a listen. That one's actually pretty good. There's another one that works well too. It's over here. It's springy. No. There we go. Not too much feedback here. It's just going to give us. See, I just want to sound like an additional kick drum, making a kind of an extra rhythm. Speaking of which, hear that snare drum in there? I don't need that extra snare drum, do I? So let's go in here. Go into this region here. Start here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. going for, let's see. Let's see how this goes. I want something kind of sparse. And then actually it turns out the little simple Volt synthesizer that that just the default actually kind of works for this. So I want something kind of like a sparse, skittering kind of drum pattern, and then the really bare synth to kind of come a little minor synth. So let's have a listen. All right. Okay, that's getting there. And to make an ending, I only probably need, oops. Oh, oh. Let's see. Yeah, I got a little messed up there in the end, but here's my finished little version of it. Let's have a listen. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. That is my simple steps into getting from a MIDI notation project into beginning some simple production. And from here, of course, this is where you can begin multi-tracking and doing all kinds of moves, and you'll see those in following videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.